The next strategy that we are going to learn how to do is called the lattice method. We are going to start this problem with we're going to start the strategy with our problem, and our numbers are going to be we're going to go 26 times 13. So very similarly to the array method, we're going to start with a box. And because we are doing a 2 by 2 digit multiplication problem, we're going to split the box into 4 parts. We're going to split it into 2 by 2. Next, we are going to take the digit from each number. So in the number 26, we are going to use the digit 2 and the digit 6 and put those numbers on the outside of our box. So I'm going to start with the top for 26. So I'll put a 2 above this box and a 6 above this box. So if you read it across the top, you can still see the number 26. Then for 13, we'll break it up to 1 and 3, and we are going to put those down the right side. 1, 3. So if you read it down, it says 13. Next, we have to break up our box a little farther. So this is where it sometimes gets tricky. You're going to draw a line diagonal through this bottom box and out, continued into the open space. Next, you're going to start in the top corner, draw through that box. Then you're going to continue into the bottom box and through. Sorry, my lines are a little shaky. And then the last one is through this top box. To complete the lattice method, you are going to multiply just the digits next to and above the box. So for this top right box, we have 6 and 1. So you have 6 and 1. 6 times 1 is just 6. So because there's 2 spaces in that top box, we have to write it with a 0 in front of the 6 in a tens box. There is no 10 in the number 6, and then the 6 will go in the bottom box. We then have, in the bottom, we have 6, which is at the top, and 3, which is off to the side, and 6 times 3 is 18. The digit in the 10 spot is the 1, and the digit in the 1 spot is an 8. Then if I go to this bottom left box, we have the number 2 at the top and 3 off to the side. 2 times 3 is also 6. And so again, there is no tens digit, so I'm writing a 0, and then the 6. And then the top box is 2 times 1, which is 2. So I'm going to put a 0 in the 10 spot and a 2 in the ones. Now the last step that we have to do is we have to add everything based on these lines that we drew. These lines that we drew all the way down through the boxes. So I'm going to start with everything to the right of that box. So there's only one number that's off to the right of that line, and it is 8. So I'm going to take the number 8 and write it on the outside in that open space to the right of the line. Now we're going to do everything between that red line and the line above it. So in that section, we have numbers 6, 1, and 6. So I'm going to add together 6, 1, and 6, and that is 13. Now it gets a little tricky because there is a tens digit again. So to write this number, we are going to put a 3, the number in the ones spot at the bottom, and we are going to carry the 1 up into the next line. So now we are going to add up the numbers in between these top 2 lines, which we now have a 1 in, a 0, a 2, and a 0. So we are going to add 1, 0, 2, and 0 together, and that equals 3. So I'm going to write 3 at the bottom. And our last thing that we have to do is add up any numbers that are in this top box, and there is none in this, so 0 would just go there. So our answer, we are going to read from left to right. So there's nothing in the thousand spot, so our number is just 338. So when I multiply 26 times 13, I get the answer 338.